Well, Congressman Paul Ryan, former vice presidential candidate with Mitt Romney, has said that the reason people are, by the way, welcome back to the second hour of our program, the reason people are poor is because of anti-poverty programs. Right. Doesn't have anything to do with the trade policies that allow corporations to ship jobs overseas. Doesn't have anything to do with tax policies that allows the top 1% to have that allows the 100 richest, the 400 richest people in the United States to own more wealth than half of all other Americans. The 5 Walton heirs to own more wealth than a third of all Americans. Got nothing to do with any of that stuff. No, it's, as Paul Ryan said, this top-down big government approach that the president has taken, I think the evidence is very clear, has proven not to help people out of poverty, but more importantly, to trap people in poverty. He wants to have a work requirement with food stamps. It's called the Sutherland Amendment. According to the CBPP, it would allow states to end benefits for most adults who receive or apply for SNAP, Supplemental Nutrition Food Stamps, including parents with young children and people with disabilities, if they are not working or participating in a worker training program for at least 20 hours a week. The amendment provides no jobs and no funds for worker training programs, and it does not require states to make work opportunities available. People wanting to work who are looking for a job but haven't found one would be cut off from food stamps. Great. This is Paul Ryan's idea of what will save America. Dr. Carol Swain is on the line with us. She's an attorney and author and professor of law at Vanderbilt University. Her website, Carol Swain, SWAIN.net. Dr. Swain, welcome back to the program.
It's my pleasure, and I'm a professor of political science and of law, with political science being my main field.
Okay. Thank you for that clarification. So, I know that you lean Republican, as it were. Your take on Paul Ryan's take on its food stamps that makes people poor?
Well, we both know that it's a little bit more complicated than that.
Yeah.
I can agree with him that the policies of the Obama administration, they certainly have not improved conditions in the black community. And I could get into a lot of issues that I think help to keep people poor. And one is the fact that we do encourage the migration of people from poor countries, and that we have people that are here that they can work 3 jobs and still be poor.
Yes, but can you identify one, even, policy that President Obama proposed that Congress has passed and has been made into law that is keeping people in poverty?
Well, I can tell you that when we had unemployment benefits extending for 99 weeks or in some cases maybe beyond, I think it created a disincentive for some people to find jobs. And I know from my own personal experiences involving a relative, the day after the unemployment benefits ended, within a couple of days, that person was employed. But at the time that the unemployment benefits ended, the unemployment office itself, provided all the information about food stamps, and there was a big push to get this person on food stamps, even though they were in a situation that they actually didn't need food stamps.
So what
they were living at home; they had plenty of food.
Sure. So I get it that there are going to be people who abuse the system, and there are going to be free riders. It's intrinsic in any system.
Prescription is that.
But does that mean that we should throw out the whole system?
No. The problem with his prescription is that it really doesn't take into consideration the people that actually do need some assistance. And some of them are people that are working to pay their rent.
Right.
And if they have to make a choice between buying food or paying their rent. And that's something that there is a segment of the Republican community that doesn't quite get it because they've never been there.
Yeah. Yeah. So what is, I think we pretty much know what the progressive solutions are. Let's change our trade policies. Let's change our taxation policies. Let's raise the minimum wage. Let's make sure everybody has a basic.
Let's bring in more poor people. That's the progressive solution.
Well, let's legalize the poor people who are here. and
Yeah,
which will
exactly.
cause their wages to go up, which and will stop the kind of gray market economy where
The
they can be exploited.
Budget Office figures, data, in
Sure.
the report that they put out, included the fact that if the amnesty bill is passed, that unemployment will rise, and we know the group that it's going to rise on. It's going to be African Americans, who are already overrepresented among the unemployed. And it also said that the wages of the average American, and that's working people and people, maybe some of the people that watch your show, will go down. And so that's not going to help us. There are a lot of people that
Well,
are
that
working,
assumes,
we might call them middle class, but they're still poor because of these kinds of policies. And what's wrong in America is we're not investing in our human capital.
I don't disagree with you. I would love to see college and trade schools absolutely free for everybody. Used to be that you could get a decent job and raise a family with a high school diploma. Back 100 years ago, you could get a decent job and raise a family with an 8th grade diploma, and so we used to pay to 8th grade, and then it was 12th grade, and now it's 12th grade plus 4, and I think that we should be covering that, or that in a trade school, 12th grade plus 2 or whatever it takes. But are you suggesting that we should keep everything static? I mean, those CBO figures assume that there's no change in trade policy, assume that there's no expansion of infrastructure or other, any kind of, let's not do anything in America. Let's just follow the Republican path and not grow this country. If we have a choice between legalizing the people who are here. And yes, I don't disagree with you, actually, where you're expanding your labor force and actually probably before that, but in any case, you're expanding your labor force, that is going to drop wages. But there are a lot of things we can do to compensate for that. We could bring bring jobs back home as a starting point. What's wrong with that?
We have not done it, and I don't see the incentive. And
well, we haven't done it because Republicans are fighting it.
I'm frustrated with both political parties, and when you get them close together, there's not that much difference, especially in the Senate. And so I don't see that either political party is really proposing solutions that's going to help America.
Well, Nancy Pelosi actually passed a bill out of the House of Representatives, sent it to the Senate, that would do away with the tax advantage that companies get by moving work offshore and by keeping their money offshore. It's the scam that Apple's running on us, and it would have done away with that. And there were enough Democrats not in the Senate to vote for it, but the Republicans filibustered it.
Well, one of the things that we need is for the population to be more educated about the choices before them. And again, I think both political parties come up short.
So, what's your alternative?
Well,
or solution?
My alternative is to educate the public and to get more people involved. But right now,
how do we do that?
It's like the worst time to be legalizing people that are undocumented under the plan that I have seen proposed, because it's just going to expand the poverty rolls in America.
Well,
we don't have the
it's over a
resources
13-year
to
period.
support the people that we already have.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't entirely disagree with that argument. And in fact, I've been making that argument for a lot of years. But that said, there is so much that we can do that Republicans are refusing to do.
Well, I don't agree with Paul Ryan, and I'm not a Paul Ryan supporter. So
yeah.
I can't defend what he said or a lot that comes from the Republican Party.
Yeah. Okay. Carol,
I wish I could, but I can't.
Okay. And frankly, there's a lot out of the Democratic Party that I can't defend, so maybe we're in the same boat. Dr. Carol Swain, attorney, author, and professor of political science and law at Vanderbilt University. Website Carol M. Swain, MSWAIN.net. Thank you, Dr. Swain.
Thank you.
This is the Thom Hartmann Program.
So, what is the Republican solution? I'm still searching, just like I'm trying to figure out why the Republicans flipped the stars upside down on the flag.